Walk and you shall reach. Exactly the proverb that keeps whirling in my head all the way down to the camp leader's cabin. I'm out of whiskey, damn it. All right, I have some tea here. Somehow, I just couldn't manage to argue, to pretend that I'm sick or just skip it without reason. The events of the day taught me submissiveness, although sometimes whatever was happening made no sense to me. As I walked in, I had a thought. Well, in fact, how should I get ready? Clothes? I only have this overcoat and a pair of jeans. Anyways, I forgot to ask whether it's going to be an overnight hike or not. I couldn't think of anything better, so I grabbed the sweater that I had on me when I arrived at camp and scuffered off to the square. Gendo looked on disappointingly. All the camp was already there. Oh, sorry, excuse me, that was again the whiskey. I settled down near the edge and waited patiently. Night was falling. If viewed from the outside, what fairly comical picture we would make. A crowd of pioneers lined up outside out of sheer habit, like they were awaiting the silent command of the bronze Gendo. And all this happening in the scarlet rays of sunset. And there he is, waving his hand, screaming, "Attack!" or "Send out Unit 1!" with a red neckerchief with red neckerchiefs charged into battles as some ghostly enemy. But Olga showed up and started to talk instead of Gendo. "It seems like everyone's here. Great!" I was so tired that I couldn't even think of anything, so I ended up just listening to our camp leader. "Now, today we go hiking. It's an essential for every pioneer to be able to come and rescue his comrade. To offer, by the way, I've already done this, to offer a helping hand in the hour of need, saving them from a hopeless situation. We have to learn to do all these things together." A whisper ran through the pioneer crowd, suggesting that most probably this true epic expedition would end up in the clearing of the forest 700 feet away from the square. Somehow I thought so too. We walk in pairs. So, if you haven't chosen a partner for yourself yet, now there's the right time to do so. Pioneers quickly caught up to the idea and started making pairs. It looked like I would be the only one without a partner. Sylvia was enthusiastically discussing something with Olga. Lena was with Miku. Electronic was, of course, with Shurik. Well, it might not be a bad idea to go alone after all. "Simon!" The voice of the camp leader pulled me out of my thoughts. As she got closer, I went up to her reluctantly. "I see that you haven't found a partner yet." Wow. I thought about that in my real life and that just made me depressed. "What? No, seems like it. Then you'll join Zoe. She's alone too." I was struck with a special kind of despair that only a true loner can experience. So it appeared that I'm left with a prickly dominatrix that I wouldn't risk spending a couple of hours with, even if I was paid for it. Although we both seem to be in the same boat now. I slowly approached Zoe, trying to not make any sudden movements. "Well, I guess we'll be going together." She looked up at me. "Don't you even think that I'm glad?" Zoe said seriously. "Why on earth should I feel glad?" I asked her naively. "Never mind. It would be much better if you just shut the fuck up." It couldn't get any better than this. She turned her back on me and followed the other pioneers. I still haven't seen any special reason to walk in pairs. Anyways, we're walking on a well-trod forest trails and it would be quite difficult to get lost, even if I wanted to. Moreover, while we've been hiking for half an hour, we've already rushed into the depths of the forest, trying to face all of the dangers that could occur in circles. However, if we take into account that Olga was our chief, this hike could be compared to a hobbit's march to the Shire, from the Shire to Mordor. But hey, one does not simply walk into Mordor. Just as Zoe insisted, I was following her at a distance. The librarian seemed to be perfectly okay with it. Hey, don't you know don't you know when we'll reach our destination? Or don't you know? Our what? The place where we settled down and set up camp. The whole point of this hike isn't to set up camp, but it's hiking itself. You don't get it? Yeah, it seemed that I didn't understand a thing about hiking. I guess you're right, but still, I don't know, she replied, fading into the distance, and quickly regained her pace. I caught up and asked her, listen, why are you always such a bitch? I was about to say mean, but stopped short. I haven't done anything bad, and to you, and I'm not going to. She glared at me in surprise. Always so what? Well, unsociable, kind of. Or is it something about me? Oh, cut that stupidity out already. As you wish. I decided not to start a conversation with her and for the rest of the hike. Ellipses laughed at the awkward nature of our conversation. And look at this. This looks like a fairy glen in Ireland. At last, Olga decided to end the syphilis tutorial. It's time to halt. We'll solve the orgy here. The place chosen turned out to be quite a large glade with a few tree trunks and a half circle in person elbow, with the remains of the campfire in the middle. Obviously, such hikes are a tradition of this camp. I was sent to gather firewood together with the other boys. Again, there's only 3 guys total in this whole camp. So you, Sherrick, and Electronic. It didn't take long, but there was a lot of branches, logs, and laying around. Eventually, Olga lit the fire using some old newspapers. You could look at the newspaper to see what... Oh yeah, I did it written on them, but okay. I was about to say you could use newspapers, but you wasn't able to. Pioneers took their places on fallen logs, benches, and seated around about things. It seemed that the final goal of this event had been achieved. The only thing missing were a pot of fish soup, aluminum cans of vodka, and a guitar. Kumbaya, my lord. Oh, wait a minute, we're in Soviet Russia. Kumbaya, my Stalin, kumbaya. Religion is the opiate of the masses, my Stalin, kumbaya. I don't know Russian camp songs. But I wouldn't be surprised if all these would suddenly appear somehow. Sorry. What are you thinking about, lad? I could use a drink, that's what I'm fucking saying. Sylvia sat next to me. Oh, nothing special. Just enjoying the hike, I answered sarcastically. You don't look so happy now. Well, I'm not about to jump for joy. Sorry about that. Okay, I won't disturb you. No, come back. She sat with me for a while, but after realizing that I wasn't in the mood for talking, she left it. Ah, you ruined it, you bastard. Talk to the pretty blonde. All I wished for was to lie down in my bed and fall asleep as soon as possible. But I was being surrounded by smoke and useless chatter of pioneers. They were cheering and laughing, and in a general enjoyment this warm summer evening. In the far side of the glen, I noticed Lena, yes, intensely, and Lena seemed to like complete opposite to me. Sylvia had left to go somewhere after our conversation, it seemed. Electronic and Sherrick was trying to fiercely prove something to Olga. Looks like I'm the only one who doesn't belong here. Yeah, no. I learned the hard way. Don't, guys. Good point here. 2 women fighting, if they're not hurting each other, just arguing, don't get involved. You will only lose. Don't get involved when 2 women are arguing. it ends badly for you. Always. Anyways, do nothing. Stay seated. All I was doing was just watching the fire. There is a saying that claims that no one can watch it forever, as well as running water. But there was also some third thing there. What was that? One could watch 3 things forever: burning fire, running water, and how other people work. The camp leader pulled me out of my daydreaming. Simon, don't you think that it's too early to relax? But what else would I need to do? I honestly couldn't get what Olga wanted me to do. She wants you to do her. I don't know. She stopped for a moment. But if there's something to be done, then do it without hesitation. She smiled ambiguously and went back to the fire to throw a few branches on. After those words, I'm completely sure that she treats me like a personal slave. At least I'm a free label force, which is strictly speaking the same thing. I sighed and put my head down on my heads, hoping my torments would be over for the day. Someone patted me on the shoulder. I looked up and saw Shirk, an electronic, who sat next to me. What do you want? I asked tiredly. Don't be sad. Be glad. With glad Ziploc. No. Is there anything better to do? Look, we've been discussing the possibilities for the advancement of Psychtronic Club with Olga. And there is a problem. We need more guys. Yes, I know. We're the only 3 guys in this whole cabin, apparently. Whole camp, excuse me. If you could... He hesitated. Advancement. And these guys are incompatible with each other. I said nothing and started to look over the pioneers around me instead. Well, I really don't have the time. Can't you see that I'm always busy with the camp leader's errands? Yeah, I guess you're right. That's right. Get back to cleaning each other's chimneys. It's kind of embarrassing how it all went today with Ulsa. I looked at him with surprise. It seems that Shirk blames himself for the cake incident. Yeah, it is. She's got the hots for a certain redhead. And the pioneers seem to be here, but I couldn't spot Sylvia anywhere. I think she's angry with me. Who? I asked absently. Ulsa. Maybe I should apologize. No, it's not your fault. We sat silently for a while, then I stood up and said, my legs are numb. I better walk for a while. They met no reply. I made a few circles around our improvised camp, noticing the close look of the camp leaders following me. Looks like Olga couldn't wait to come up with some kind of new task for me. I hadn't found Sylvia anywhere. Maybe I should go try to find her. On the other hand, I felt sorry for Ulsa every time I recalled her upset face. Maybe this hike isn't the most entertaining thing, but sitting there all alone isn't much better. But at the same time, I didn't want to go anywhere. So this is completely new. So I'm assuming this right here, this whole fire thing is a major point for all the branches. Because if I would have stepped like I did last time in the argument with Alice and Lena, that's their 2 branches. And somehow I messed up and ended up with Alice, even though I was trying for Lena. This one here, I'm pretty sure this one here is the general branch, or might have to go with Olga. This is Ulsa's, apparently. And I'm assuming this is Sylvia's, which is what I want to... So I'm assuming a lot of branches. So a lot of what's behind me determines how well the rest of the game goes. But this is a major turning point. Everything funnels through this one event. And then once I make my choice here, it's almost set for the rest of the game, I think. Possibly. I don't know. I could be drunk. Matter of fact, I am. So, trying to find Sylvia. Tried to find Sylvia. I was absolutely sure that Sylvia was alright. So I just... Wait a minute, I thought I said try to find her. I guess that's enough for me today. I sat in my previous place and waited to end the hike. Almost physically able to look at the camp leader's aim at me. At least she stood up and declared, "And now, let's play cities." What, City Skyline? I love City Skylines. I haven't played in forever though. I had nothing against the game itself, but it was obvious that the hike would take longer because of it. Pioneers sat around the fire. I noticed Lena, Alice, who took their places. See, I didn't get involved with the fight. They didn't run away to the island, and they're fine now. See what happened, guys, when you don't get involved with arguments that don't involve you? It seemed that everything is all right. And just a few minutes ago, I thought the opposite while looking at their quarrel. But anything is possible. I'd really like to know what they were talking about. It was you. But it's impossible now, and I feel tiredness growing over me more and more. My mind was completely blank. To be precise, my head was so heavy that there was no place in it for ideas to unfold. While in my better times, my brain appeared to be a wide highway for millions of thoughts running by, chasing one another and causing major crashes. Now, it was more like a footpath lost in the forest, which is used rarely, only in exceptional cases. Sylvia didn't come back. Maybe she had something to do? But once again, there's no way to find out unless you go find her, you selfless bastard. Okay, let's start. Moscow. Pioneers started to name cities. Finally, it's my turn. I had to listen closer to catch the first letter of the city I had to use. Arkansas. We played several rounds. Each city name made it harder to remember everything that was mentioned before. My attention was disappearing and I was already lost in all these capitals, metropolises, villages, and urban settlements. Simon, it's your turn. Olga brought me back to reality. Excuse me, and what was the last one? You're daydreaming again. It's Liverpool. Okay, then London. Hey, I can finally say one of the cities. Already used. Well then, Liverpool. It got me thinking. There was tons of cities that start with the word L, but it was hard to remember every one of them now. Called it. Even though I can't say the same city twice. Already there. Damn you, Beatles. Los Angeles. Finally. You capitalist pig. Kill him. She gave me a scornful look, but the game went on. I could hardly bear to think of another city starting with L, but fortunately, it was the last round. Okay, that's enough for today. It's already late. Let's go back. And away back we walked as we liked, without joining pairs. Night descended upon the camp. A peaceful, a perfectly regular and normal night. It was one of those nights where the dark sky, stars, and even the crescent moon doesn't cause any special feelings, and the chipper of crickets and the songs of the night birds seemed more like routine work noises than the nocturnal chores. Ellipses tried to remind me of something. In a few minutes, all the pioneers were lining up in the square. It was quite late already, and fatigue took its toll and our lineup wasn't perfectly aligned. It looked to me more like a line of Vikings after successfully battling the warriors and happily and smiling anticipating the return to their families rather than thinking about maintaining a certain formation. But someone else could possibly see it as a complete defeat troops and a bunch of survivors who were on a march to their homeland with the last bit of strength. Seeing which I'm about to fall asleep. Whew. Thanks everyone, and now go to sleep. It's late already. Pioneers quickly each ran to their own ways, and I was left together with our camp leader. And we should go too. When we went in complete silence to Olga's cabin. Okay, let's sleep together. By the way, didn't I choose to look for Sylvia? Tossing and turning for quite a while, recalling all the events days. On the one hand, I was overcome with fatigue. On the other hand, I couldn't shake the feeling I forgot a certain blonde with big boobs. What? Forgotten something, done something wrong, or said something. And this feeling of incompleteness was tormenting me. It was about 2 a.m. By the way, is it actually 2 a.m.? It's 1:30. All bad things would end sooner or later. Or at least they would take a break. Really, is that the end? I fell asleep. See, last time someone appeared here. Did I really mess up that bad that I didn't even... The imminence of death. Alright, hold on a second. The save game, that's going to be tomorrow or the next time I play the game. I could have sworn I picked look for Sylvia. Is that what happens when you choose to look for Sylvia? That she disappears somewhere because she's depressed about the end of the week? Do I have to save her, talk her off a building? Don't jump! I don't know. I'm confused about what's happening, but then again, what's new? So this is, again, the second time playing through. I'm trying Sylvia, but we actually got to see some stuff that was uncensored before. No, hold on. That's a main menu. Yes, I've already saved. So, I did save, right? Yeah, day 6. Okay, back. So we finally got to see, was it this part over here? Because this is the part I used to test to see if this was censored or uncensored. Again, all this, none of it containing anything that needs to be censored really, was omitted from the original one. I had to download a file to make it work, so. Oh well. So anyways, I've been rambling. There was a game. Sorry for my bad reading, but I've been drinking as usual. But again, what happened to Sylvia? Did we notice finally that she was missing? What does this foreshadow? Is there some kind of dark foreshadowing of what happened to her? So, what do you think, Mr. Al? Again, I only got one achievement, and that was a bad ending. So, wait a minute. So, does Alice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, how many endings? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, there's 13 endings. And I'm about to get at least one more ending, whether it's the general bad ending or not. Who knows? You might know because you might have played before. Anyways, comment down below if you still want to see me play more of this. I'm always willing to because I'm quite curious to see what happens. So, tomorrow, next time I play, I'll probably play day 6 through day 7 because it kind of happens all at once. So, matter of fact, I think that might have been my last decision. I think the rest of it's going to be story, unless Sylvia's is somehow different than Alice's bad ending. So, anyways, I'm rambling a lot. There's a quick look at the game. A quick... I'm so used to that being my ending. There, again, was Everlasting Summer. Will we save Alice? What is wrong with her? And Sylvia. Will I get the name right? Will I be sober? Who knows? Find out next time as we play Everlasting Summer. Thanks again for watching and see you next time.